Hello, welcome back to more Spongebob Squarepants Battle for Bikini Bottom. One last episode, we cleared out all of Mr. Krabs' golden spatulas, and then we went to Sand Mountain and cleared out everything on the slopes there, including all of the socks, the snowman, the golden spatulas, be it whatever. Sand Mountain is now done, which means we can now proceed onward to the boss battle for the second part of Bikini Bottom, which takes place in Industrial Park. So let's go.
Just doesn't seem to be getting any better.
SpongeBob, hurry! Squidward's in more trouble than a chili relleno in a pan of grease. We have to help!
You're right, Sandy. But if that robot really is like Patrick, he'll eat us for dessert. What should we do?
Well, we better figure something out, and pronto!
Maybe that button on his back is a self-destruct. I'll try to hit it.
Good idea, SpongeBob, but it's time to stop yapping and get to it!
Yikes! Looks like SpongeBob's in for a rough ride.
Step 1. Wait for him to chuck a single piece of green goo at you, and then bubble bash above it. Then you might want to jump just to make sure you don't land in the goo. Now, the first part of this boss battle is very, very boring, because you just have to... dodge back and forth to avoid all the green goo. Wait for him to get tired, which he's going to get tired in a second. Also, you don't go down into the middle until he stops spinning. Then once he sits down, whack him in the back. You gotta do this 3 times before the phase ends, and there's not much interesting acting. There's pretty much nothing interesting about it. We'll jump over it like we did last time. Yeah, it's like I said, boss battles easily the weakest part of the game. Most of them are pretty repetitive, monotonous, but I mean, hopefully the rehydrated remake will address these things, because out of everything in the game, this game really only has 2 flaws. The Mr. Krabs spatulas, in which is just grind, 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 or cheat code, cheat code, cheat code. I'm guessing the new game isn't going to have cheat codes, so I'm hoping they do something about those Mr. Krabs patches, otherwise it's going to be a very not fun experience. Anyway, and then the other thing, of course, is boss battles. Hope they improve the boss battles. Maybe not all of them. The last boss battle, which I won't spoil for you in case you don't know what it is pretty awesome. I hope they keep that one the same. But the rest of them could definitely use some minor improvements. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much all this is. Just wait for him to stop spinning, and then either bubble bowl him or kick him in the back with the bubble spin.
The ticket? What is Sandy going to do to get SpongeBob unfrozen?
Basically the same thing we did last time, except this time we do it in the air, because you also have to do the same kind of outmaneuvering the goo we did last time, except this time instead of walking to avoid it, we can swing to avoid it. So it's the same thing, except instead of, I mean, you can also walk to avoid it, but it's just more fun to swing. Anyway, now what you want to do is land on one of these boxes. You don't have to do it this time, but just trust me, it's practice for later. Land on one of the boxes behind him, and then kick him from there. Then, again, you want to go around in a circle by swinging between these hooks to avoid the goo, and that's all there is to it. Just swing around in a circle until he eventually gets tired of you not getting hit, and then avoid his singular goo strike. Then he's going to do the spin goo attack, and again, you fly around in a circle, and that's it. I mean, it's cool that we're in Industrial Park, because Industrial Park was a very minor part of the show. I think it was only in the episode where SpongeBob decides to do a bunch of extreme things with Sandy. I think I'm pretty sure. Now, granted, I'm not a SpongeBob lore expert, but I think that's the only time it appeared in the show. Anyway, remember when I said it's going to be practice for later? Yeah, because the boxes are things you can stand on. The goo is not something you can stand on. If you try to stand in the goo, you will die. So, don't stand in the... I mean, you might be able to take 1 hit, but you can't take 2. So, don't stand in the goo. Not a good idea. You want to land in the box. That's why I said you want to land in the box instead of just landing on the floor behind him, because it's practice for when you actually have to do that to survive. Of course, you can also just not... I mean, technically, you don't have to land in the box at all if you just, like... If you drop behind him and then kick him and then, like, float away. But that's pretty risky. I wouldn't recommend doing that. Oh, I got hit. Alright. Credit where it's due. I did actually mess up there. But fortunately, there's underwear all over the place so you can regain your health points pretty easily. Nope. No, you're not. You hit me once. You're not hitting me again, that's for sure. So that's the second phase for you. I did actually get hit, like I said. You know, I messed up. I'll admit to it. But even still, it doesn't change the fact that this is a very, very repetitive, monotonous boss. Okay, never mind. I did get hit again. All right. Apparently, I'm just sucking today at this boss fight. And the annoying thing is that, like, if you get hit, he restarts the spin move, so it just further it extends the already overextended boss battle. This boss battle way more than overstays its welcome. It just definitely does not need to be a thing that exists, but it is, and now we have to deal with it. So now, box falls right behind him, drop behind him, kick him, and that's it for phase 2.
That's hotter than a June bug in July.
It's time to roll out some robot punishment.
That does it. SpongeBob is back in the fight.
Jump over the freezy breath that he unleashes upon you, and then dodge out of the way of the green goo he unleashes upon you, like always. And what do you know? We have to dodge the spinning attack again. Who could have guessed it? Now this time, you can't even step on a platform behind him because the entire area is filled with goo. So the only way to attack him from behind is if you bubble bowl him from behind. So wait till he stops, and then wherever he stops, you have to get in a position where you can stand behind him. This is kind of a rough spot because his sign's between two conveyor belts. Hold steady, and then bubble bowl in his general direction. You want to stay towards the edge of the platform, or at least as much towards the edge as you can without falling in. Then release the bubble bowl, and they have to do that 3 times. Bubble bash over this, and then jump out of the way, like so. And once again, we have to do the thing where we loop around and wait for the goo to run out. This admittedly involves the most amount of skill because you actually have to aim the bubble bowl, but it's also really annoying because the conveyor belts constantly push you out of the direction, in the direction you don't want to go, instead of being able to stand still. You also have to sometimes, depending on how close he lands to the conveyor belt, you sometimes have to land, like, stand right next to the, right on the edge of it. I should be able to, no, I have to stand on the edge. Okay, let's go over here and try it from this angle. Let's get to the edge and bubble bolt. Nope, I hit the goo. Okay, this might be a fail. This might be a fail. Got it. Okay, just one thing at a time. Because if you don't hit him in time, he will stand back up again, and that's never fun to deal with. And I'm not even going to try to bubble bash on a moving conveyor belt. That's not something I'm going to try to attempt today. One more hit that'll be for this boss battle, and then we're going to get the final new bubble ability that we're going to get to use. And by that point, we'll have all of SpongeBob's abilities unlocked, and he will be fully upgraded to the beast of a sponge that he is. And I think I can actually get this one without even bubble bowling, but I'm not going to risk it. This late in the boss battle, no way I'm risking it. And that's it.
Thanks for saving me, guys. I never thought I'd say this, SpongeBob, but I owe you big time.
Thanks, Sandy. We'd still be popsicles if it wasn't for her.
Aw, shucks. You fellers are gonna make me blush.
I think I have fudge in my pants. I'm sorry, Plankton. The Chum Bucket lab is locked up tight. I don't know if I'll ever get enough golden spatulas to get in.
Yes, it's the Chum Bucket security system. I designed it myself. It makes me so proud. It was meant to keep out the hateful throngs of the unwashed. Unfortunately, I never figured I'd be on this side of it.
So what are you gonna do, Plankton?
We, of course meaning you, are gonna have to go out there and get those golden spatulas! Or I'll never get back into the Chum Bucket and regain control of my robots.
What was that?
Oh, I said, will I ever get back into the Chum Bucket to stain all my pots? Yes.
Something's fishy here.
Okay, so before anything else, what we're going to do is head over in the back here and jump on top of these Thunder Tikis to get to the top, and grab our hands on a purple shiny object, because why not? Not going to pass the opportunity to get our hands on a purple shiny object. But welcome to the third part of Bikini Bottom, the final section of levels of the game. We have the Krusty Krab, the Chum Bucket, and then some levels over there I'm not going to get into yet, because that'll be spoilers. But probably some of my favorites. I mean, I love every level in the game, but this is probably the best set. The first set's pretty good. This set is also pretty amazing. It's tough to rank all the levels because all of them are, well, all of them are good and most of them are incredible. So, you know, it's hard to rank. Anyway, we now have at our disposal the cruise bubble, a guided missile that we can aim wherever we want and hit pretty much anything we want within a time limit. So if I wanted to try to snipe those tikis out of the air, we can happily do that. Hold steady. And something else you can do is if you, like for instance, if your aim is going to go past the target you want to hit, but you can't readjust in time, what you can do is you can manually detonate the cruise bubble, like say next to the Thunder Tiki. That didn't work, but don't worry, we'll try it again with these ones. If you're close enough and you manually detonate it, it'll explode the Thunder Tiki without actually hitting the thing. So just a good idea to keep in mind that you can manually detonate it by pressing left trigger again. So left trigger once to activate it, and left trigger again to cause it to manually detonate. Anyway, now that we have this, we can go back to Jellyfish Fields and downtown Bikini Bottom to clean up everything that we missed in our first run-through. So let's go to, where's the best place to do this from? Probably Drain the Lake. We want to do this from Drain the Lake. That's the fastest way to get there. Warp to Drain the Lake. I think what's going to spawn us is Patrick, so we want to turn around to the bus stop and change to Spongebob, because obviously Spongebob is the one who has the cruise bubble. Patrick does not have that ability. And then we want to go all the way back. Remember when I said when we first went through this section that there's an area over to the left that we can only access, or we can access it now, but we can't do anything in it yet? That's because, well, we couldn't. And now we have that ability that is going to be required to actually accomplish that task. Let's knock you out of the way real quick. Thank you very much. And then we're going to head over in this direction. And basically what it's going to be is it's going to be a target practice. A way to, just an extra way for you to help you practice with the cruise bubble before it's going to really matter. Because later on, your aim with the cruise bubble is going to be of the utmost importance. So you definitely want to practice it now. Anyway, jump onto this platform right here to cause a series of tikis to pop up into the air, and now we can just, hit all of them. It's not a very challenging thing to do. Like I said, it's mainly just to work on your aim. And if you want to, you can even try manually detonating them between two of them to knock out two with one blow. So, always a cool thing to try out. That was awful. But if you don't feel up to those advanced moves yet, you can just aim straight for them, and then so long as your crosshair is over the tiki, it'll hit it every single time. And then once you do that, the sock will appear. And that is all 14 socks and Jellyfish Fields finally collected. Now we can head to downtown Bikini Bottom, return to the Sea Needle for the mission that is literally titled, Come Back with the Cruise Bubble. Subtlety, not a thing they were aware of. What we want to do is actually, now it's time to use the manually detonated feature. So you want to fire the cruise bubble from this direction, then directly next to the button, that wasn't part of the plan. Directly next to the button, like in front of it, but next to it, you want to manually detonate it to activate the button. You could do it from the other side, but since it spawned you right here, we're just going to manually detonate it from here. Then before you jump on the platform, I know it's tempting, but trust me, you want to hold off because it'll be much, much easier if you just switch to Sandy right here. Then go back over to that platform, jump on, and ride it to the golden spatula because there's still one more thing we have to collect that isn't just the golden spatula. Because if you remember, we only have 8 out of the 9 socks available in downtown Bikini Bottom. So there is still one more thing waiting for us that isn't the golden spatula, and is, of course, the sock. So we're going to head over here, grab that, and then jump onto that hook as soon as we get it. So let's go grab the golden spatula now. I jumped a little bit early so that I would land on the platform, and then, like, the time I would spend off the platform would account for the time the cutscene was playing. Swing into this little section right here to get your hands on the final sock and a purple shiny object. We're going to lasso this guy, if you don't mind. Knock this button, or hit this button to open the south door, and that is everything for downtown Bikini Bottom Jellyfish Fields, and everything up until this point that we have done, finished 100%, except for, of course, the stuff in Bikini Bottom. Still a few more things in Bikini Bottom we have to take care of, so let's go do those now. First of which being on top of the chum bucket. So what you want to do is you want to come around to this side right here, stand around here, doesn't really have to be any exact point, but around here is good. Press the left trigger, aim up to the sky, and you want to hit all 3 of these buttons. I think I manually detonated that one. So hit all 3 buttons within a time limit. There we go. I'm going to readjust my position because I think I keep shooting off to the right. That's not what I want. Pull up, and then once you hit all 3 buttons within a time limit, because they can deselect, so as long as you hit all 3 buttons within a certain time, a trampoline will appear, and you can use this trampoline to bounce on top of the chum bucket, on top of which you will get your hands on another golden spatula. Perhaps more importantly than that, well, I mean, there's also some blue shiny objects here, but perhaps even more important than that is if you get to the very edge of the chum bucket, and then you look down, you'll see a clam there with a pair of golden underwear in it. So what you want to do is jump once, jump twice, press the X button to spin stall, and there is your final pair of golden underwear for the entire game. We can now have 6 health points instead of 5, 4, or even 3. And now what we're going to want to do is we want to head behind the Krusty Krab, where there's going to be a dumpster right here. You want to whack this dumpster once to cause it to move out of the way, and then you can get your hands on the sock, like so. And then we're going to go inside the...
Mr. Krabs, you don't look so good.
You gotta help me, boy. The Krusty Krab's been overrun by a bunch of them hoodlum robots of yours. They've booted me out! And worse, they've got hold of me beautiful shiny objects!
Defiling the Krusty Krab? Is there no end to their evil? What are we going to do, Mr. Krabs?
We, meaning you, are going to clear the robots out, get me back me restaurant, and most importantly, rescue me money!
As I said, we're going to go into the Krusty Krab and clear out the infestation. Let's go kick some robot chassis. Okay, priority number 1. bait the missile, jump out of the way, knock into the chuck, like so, then turn around and cruise bubble, oh, never mind, I cruise bubble the other, I said cruise bubble the other chuck so that he can't get another missile on us. If you want, you can even stand on top of the table so that the little laser bots down there can't get you. Then fire another cruise bubble at the Duplicatotron so that it can't spawn any more enemies. And then after you do that, you want to take your cruise bubble to the left one more time, or two more times, I guess, technically, to get rid of these two sleepy time robots. I might not have, this might be too sharp of a turn. Maybe it was at an 8. Yeah, I figured it was going to be too sharp of a turn. Alright, let's bubble bash and then turn to the left, like so. And then send it up one more time. That's both sleepy time robots knocked out, both chucks knocked out, and the Duplicatotron. So now what we want to do is we're going to use cruise bubble on you as well. Clear you out, knock down, and then got one of you. I figured I was going to take a hit there, but that's fine, because that's all the enemies cleared out, so now we can just worry about destroying everything else. Because, of course, while you can get a golden spatula for clearing out all the enemies in here, the other thing you can do is if you destroy all the objects in here... Oh, wait, is there still something alive? I think there's still something alive. Okay, hold on, where are you? There you are. Hi, how you doing, buddy? There we go. Now we destroyed all the robots. I was wondering why the music wasn't stopping playing. Okay, so now what we want to do is just destroy all the objects that are located in here, and then once you do that, a sock is going to appear, much like in Squidward's house, actually, if you just destroy everything, including the stuff in the condiment aisle, and the cash register right here, and all the chairs around the tables, and all the boxes and the windows. Every single item in here needs to be destroyed before the sock will appear. Don't worry, it's pretty obvious when you miss something. Because nothing's really particularly hidden. You can't hit the cups on top of the table either, so don't worry about not being able to hit those. Some items over here that can be hit. You can't hit the anchor. Some boxes, barrels, you know, most of the standard stuff that can be knocked down. And then the sock's going to spawn on the crow's nest over on the right side. Not the left side, but the right side. So I'm going to bubble into that, and then head over to this side, and ball into this Thunder Tiki as well. And doing so will cause the sock to spawn right up in there in the crow's nest. So let's go walk out to it and grab it like so. And then we can head on out and get our reward.
Phew! You had me worried there for a bit, boy. Worried for me money, of course. Here, take this as your reward.
Now there's only one more spatula that we can get in Bikini Bottom. As you can see, we're almost 100% done with Bikini Bottom. Just one more thing we gotta get by going into the chum bucket. Now, as you can see, we are only 4 golden spatulas away from being able to access the final boss battle of the game. But we are not. I'm not going to go in there until we get 98 golden spatulas, because the final boss is comprised of 2 parts, both of which get you a spatula, and we're going for 100%. So we're not going to touch the final boss until we are ready to 100% the game. Anyway, a TV is going to interrupt you and play a little mini cutscene. We're going to skip that because we are focused only on one thing and one thing only, and that is going to be the spatula that's up here. I think you can just bubble bash into it if you hug the right side of the wall here. That was close. If you hug the right side of the wall, I believe you can just bubble bash your way into the spatula. I'm going to try that. That didn't work. I'll try it again. Yep, okay, you can just bubble bash into it. But what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to wall jump your way up there, because the spatula is called wall jump in the bucket. So you're supposed to do that. But if you want to, you can just bubble bash your way into it. Regardless, that is all the spatulas collected in Bikini Bottom and everything up until this point, because now we have the cruise bubble and the bubble tunes. We have collected everything that we possibly can, so now the rest of it we can focus on just 100%ing all the remaining areas, and we don't have to do any more backtracking, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, that will be it for this episode, so thanks for watching. Stay tuned for next time to catch you all tomorrow for some more Spongebob Squarepants Battle for Bikini Bottom. Goodbye!